What drives someone to commit a crime? Is it something they're born with, written into their DNA, or is it the result of life circumstances, poverty, trauma, or neglect? The age-old debate of nature versus nurture has fascinated scientists, criminologists, and society for centuries as we search for answers to one of humanity's most troubling questions. What makes a criminal? Are some individuals destined for darkness, or does the world around them shape their path? Today, we delve into the psychology of a criminal, unraveling the intricate web of genetics, environment, and societal influence that lies at the heart of this mystery. Nature, the genetic blueprint of criminality. The argument for nature suggests that certain individuals may be predisposed to criminal behavior due to their genetic makeup. Studies in behavioral genetics have identified specific genes, such as the MALA gene, often referred to as the warrior gene, that are linked to increased aggression, impulsivity, and a higher likelihood of engaging in violent acts. Research on twins and families has further reinforced the role of genetics, showing that identical twins, who share 100% of their DNA, exhibit higher concordance rates for criminal behavior compared to fraternal twins. These findings suggest that hereditary factors can create a biological foundation for criminal tendencies. However, genetic predispositions are not deterministic, they merely create potential. Individuals with such traits may never engage in criminal activity unless environmental factors trigger them. For instance, someone carrying the MALA gene may lead a law-abiding life unless subjected to abuse, trauma, or extreme stress. This interplay between inherited traits and environmental stimuli reveals that genetics might load the gun, but it's life circumstances that pull the trigger. While nature provides a framework for understanding criminal behavior, it cannot fully explain why some people with similar genetic markers become criminals, while others do not. Nurture, the role of environment and upbringing. The nurture argument emphasizes that criminal behavior is largely shaped by one's environment and life experiences. Factors such as growing up in poverty, experiencing abuse, or being exposed to violence during formative years significantly increase the likelihood of engaging in criminal activities. Children who grow up in unstable homes, where neglect and a lack of positive role models are prevalent, are more likely to adopt deviant behaviors as a coping mechanism or survival strategy. Socioeconomic factors such as limited access to education, unemployment, and systemic inequality also contribute to creating environments that foster crime. For example, in communities with high crime rates, young individuals may view illegal activities as a necessary means of survival or acceptance. The cycle of abuse is one of the most striking examples of how environment shapes behavior. Many criminals, particularly violent offenders, share histories of being victims of physical or emotional abuse during childhood. This trauma not only affects their psychological development, but can also normalize violence as a way to exert control or solve problems. Research has shown that individuals exposed to prolonged adversity during their early years are more likely to struggle with impulse control and empathy, making them more susceptible to criminal behavior later in life. These findings highlight the critical role of nurturing environments in breaking the cycle of crime and preventing at-risk individuals from taking the wrong path. The brain and criminal behavior. Neuroscience has uncovered significant links between brain structure and criminal behavior, shedding light on the biological factors that contribute to criminality. Research shows that abnormalities in specific regions of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, are often associated with individuals who exhibit violent or impulsive tendencies. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and moral reasoning, tends to show reduced activity in many violent offenders. This impairment can lead to poor judgment, a lack of remorse, and an inability to foresee the consequences of actions. On the other hand, an overactive amygdala, which processes emotions like fear and anger, can make individuals more prone to aggression and reactive violence. Traumatic brain injuries, TBIs, further highlight the connection between brain function and criminal behavior. Studies have shown that individuals who have suffered TBIs, particularly in areas linked to emotional regulation and impulse control, are more likely to engage in criminal acts. High-profile cases, such as that of Charles Whitman, who committed a mass shooting after a tumor was discovered pressing against his amygdala, demonstrate how physical brain conditions can contribute to extreme behavior. These findings emphasize the importance of understanding the neurological underpinnings of criminality, as they offer potential pathways for intervention, rehabilitation, and prevention. The intersection of nature and nurture. While the debate often frames nature and nurture as opposing forces, the reality is that they work together to shape an individual's behavior, including the propensity for criminal activity. Genetics may predispose someone to certain traits, such as impulsivity or aggression, but these traits often remain dormant unless activated by environmental factors. For example, a person carrying the so-called warrior gene, MALA, may not exhibit violent tendencies unless they experience significant childhood trauma or abuse. This interplay between biology and environment reveals that neither factor operates in isolation. Both are essential in understanding the roots of criminal behavior. Studies have highlighted how adverse environments can amplify genetic predispositions. For instance, children born with a genetic vulnerability to aggression who grow up in violent or neglectful households are more likely to exhibit criminal tendencies. Conversely, supportive and nurturing environments can mitigate genetic risks, steering individuals toward healthier behaviors. This dynamic underscores the importance of addressing environmental factors, such as poverty and education, in preventing crime. By intervening early and creating positive conditions, society can potentially disrupt the chain reaction that turns genetic predispositions into criminal actions. This balance of nature and nurture provides a more nuanced understanding of why some individuals turn to crime while others, despite similar challenges, do not. Can criminal tendencies be prevented or reversed? Understanding the roots of criminal behavior opens the door to preventing and even reversing criminal tendencies. Early intervention is one of the most effective strategies, especially for at-risk youth. Programs that provide mentorship, education, and mental health support can counteract negative environmental influences. For example, outreach initiatives in high-crime areas that offer positive role models and opportunities for skill development have been shown to reduce juvenile delinquency rates significantly. By addressing issues like poverty, trauma, and lack of education early in life, society can disrupt the cycle of criminal behavior before it takes hold. Rehabilitation is another crucial component in addressing criminal tendencies, particularly for those already in the justice system. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, anger management programs, and addiction treatment have proven effective in helping offenders reform. These approaches focus on reshaping thought patterns, improving impulse control, and fostering empathy, enabling individuals to make better choices in the future. Some successful rehabilitation programs also involve restorative justice practices, where offenders face the impact of their actions by engaging directly with victims. While prevention and rehabilitation require significant resources and effort, they offer a pathway to reducing recidivism and creating a more just and compassionate society. The role of society in shaping criminals. Society plays a profound role in influencing criminal behavior, acting as both a catalyst and a deterrent. Systemic issues such as inequality, discrimination, and poverty create environments where crime becomes a survival mechanism for many individuals. Communities with limited access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities often experience higher crime rates as people resort to illegal activities to meet their basic needs. Overcrowded and underfunded urban areas, in particular, can foster a sense of hopelessness and alienation, pushing individuals toward criminal paths. These societal structures not only contribute to the problem, but also perpetuate cycles of crime across generations. In addition, the justice system itself can reinforce criminal tendencies instead of addressing them. Overcrowded prisons, harsh sentencing policies, and a focus on punishment over rehabilitation often fail to address the root causes of criminal behavior. Once labeled as criminals, individuals face stigma and limited opportunities upon re-entry into society, which increases the likelihood of recidivism. Restorative justice models and community-based interventions, on the other hand, have shown promise in breaking these cycles by addressing both individual needs and systemic issues. By tackling the social conditions that breed crime, society has the power to reduce criminality and create a more equitable and just world. The question of whether criminals are born or made is as complex as human nature itself. It's not a matter of choosing between nature or nurture, but understanding how they intertwine to shape behavior. From genetic predispositions to the impact of upbringing, environment, and societal structures, the roots of criminality are deeply multifaceted. By exploring these layers, we not only uncover the science behind criminal psychology, but also gain valuable insights into prevention and rehabilitation. The path forward lies in addressing both individual and systemic factors to build a society where fewer people are driven to crime. If this exploration sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking deep dives into the mysteries of human behavior. What's your take? Can crime ever be truly eradicated, or is it an inevitable part of human society? Let us know in the comments below.